Assassin's Creed's best game has been dragged up from the depths, and I felt almost nothing. Black Flag Resynced has been rebuilt from the ground up. The ships, the water, Edward's been filled back out, Woodkid's back on the score. It's streamlined too now. Now you can even get a monkey. If you'd have handed me a wish list 10 years ago, the whole list's right here. The one game I'd have told you no hesitation was the last time this series was genuinely special. So I sat through the reveal, waiting for it. That lift in your chest when something you love comes home. It never arrived. Just a sort of quiet, settled, oh, that's nice. And then nothing. And here's what actually unsettled me once I realized it. It wasn't disappointment. Disappointment I could have worked with. Disappointment means that you still care enough to be let down. This was flatter than that. And flat when it's one of the things you love most, that's not the game feeling you, that's something in you that's already gone. Last time we sat here talking, I was on about a reignition of a feeling I thought was lost. 1666 Amsterdam, Patrice Désilets' game, the man who built Assassin's Creed in the first place, before Ubisoft took it somewhere he was never going to follow, after it was cancelled, fought over, and now somehow is real again. After I played the wee prologue, I felt it. The actual feeling I'd been missing, that hum in your chest, the, oh, there you are, that I've more or less written off as something maybe I just aged out of. So it's clear that feeling still works, and I proved that to myself a week ago. Which is exactly what makes this one land the way it does. Because if it's not gone from me, then it's gone from here. From Assassin's Creed specifically, the series that gave me the feeling in the first place and has held a special place in me for more than half my life. Just rebuilding its own game from the ground up, and it just feels less alive to me more than a 30-minute project from the guy who made the thing in the first place, who had to leave to make his own thing. And I want to be honest about why it left me cold, because it's not an easy answer. It isn't that Resynced is bad. It might be the best this series has looked in years, because it is stunning. The water, the ships, the way Nassau looks filled in and like a breathing city. They rebuilt it on the new engine and somehow managed to keep the sauce, which genuinely surprised me. I didn't think they had it in them. And Mirage and Shadows, in comparison, felt sauceless to me in a lot of places. But this didn't. Edward looks a lot more filled out now, gone, be that gaunt wee face we had in 2013. This man's been eating well, apparently. We have Woodkid on the score, and it's just always such a treat. You can merge straight into port without a loading screen now, and yeah, all that might sound like small things, but I can already feel how special that's gonna be. On paper, they have done the work here. This is a love letter to the best game they ever made. Singapore have said so themselves. So I should be ecstatic. And for about a day, I was. Then the reveal high drained off, and I started actually watching it. And there's just something I couldn't unsee. It doesn't move like Black Flag. The parkour's lifted straight out of Shadows. The same ejects, the same free jumps, that same slightly weightless drift where the momentum used to be. The combat's reworked into something more action-focused, with parries flashing, with these blinding effects and a boom on the chain kills. There's ability icons in the corner, you can crouch, there's no more modern day, it's just gone, swapped for these optional riffs about Edward's past, but a bit more than that in a minute. It's clearly not an RPG, they didn't go that far, but they rebuilt the best action game in the series using all the muscle memory of the games following it. And that amalgamation is what did it. It's the right world in the wrong body. They restored everything about Black Flag except the way it felt to actually be in. It looks like the thing I loved, and it moves like the thing I drifted away from. And once you see that, you can't stop seeing it. So no, I'm not angry at it. I can't even be angry at it at all. It's too well made for that. I just sat there looking at a near perfect rebuild of my favourite game in the series, and I felt that flat, mild, oh that's nice, creep back in. The same nothing, just dressed up beautifully this time. So, If the feeling still works, and it isn't really resynced that killed it, then when did it actually go? But I can't give you a date. There was no single moment. But that's almost the point. Because it never happened all at once. It happened the way you lose anything that matters. Slowly, one piece at a time, each one small enough on its own that you talk yourself around it. That's fine, I don't need that bit. And you mean it. Every time. And then one day, you just look up, the room's near empty, and you can't work out when everyone left. Let me walk the timeline. Not to pull it apart, because that's honestly a whole other video. The one I'm making next week, yeah. Just so you can feel the shape of it. First it was the modern day. Not overnight, just quietly sidelined, reduced, and eventually got it down to a rift and a menu. And I know everybody loves to rag on modern day stuff, but that was the connective tissue of this franchise. The reason any of the history mattered, especially once Desmond's story ended after AC3, to now pull it out of this game, and each game after that, means that each game becomes a lovely diorama with nothing connecting them. Then stealth stopped being stealth. The whole fantasy of these games, for me and many others, was being the assassin. Like it's in the title. You're the one in the crowd that nobody clocks, the still one in a moving world. Somewhere along the line, that became crouch walking behind a bush, or the silent killer I fell for turned into just another fella in cover. Then the combat kept turning beneath me. Survival, then showmanship, then just numbers. Some point along the way, I stopped feeling like a stealth killer and started feeling more like a warrior. And the whole time, the stories were getting worse. Not offensively bad, well, maybe they are now, just thinner, less sure of what they were about. The one thing that might have carried me through the rest deflated right alongside everything else. And even just being in the world changed. It stopped being about learning a city and reading it, becoming a part of it. It became minigames, forts, and auto-riding your horse between waypoints, or your lynx cat or whatever the fuck. And here's what took me so long to see. No single one of those was the day I stopped caring. Each one on its own, I forgave. I kept turning up. I even enjoyed some of the later ones genuinely as games on their own terms, but they weren't it anymore. They were something wearing its coat and hood. Black Flag was the last time all of it was still in the room together. The peak. And everything after was a slow, steady subtraction, a little less each time, until Resynced turned up gorgeous but hollow, and I finally felt the totality of it. Resynced didn't kill it. Resynced was just the receipt. So here's where I've landed, and it's not as sad as I thought it'd be when I sat down to make this. The feeling isn't dead. I know that now, and I felt it a week ago, but it's not in Assassin's Creed. The feeling didn't die, it just left. It walked out the door with the man who made it in the first place, and it's living somewhere else now, under a different name in a different time. They rebuilt Black Flag, wooden panel by wooden panel, and it couldn't bring the feeling back, because the feeling was never in those bits of wood. It was never the ship, or the water, or Edward's face. It was a way of thinking about what these games could be, and that left Assassin's Creed a long time ago. Reasoning just made me finally admit it isn't coming back. Not here. And that's alright, I think. You don't get to keep everything. Some of the things you love just move on ahead of you. The kindest thing you can do is let them go and follow that feeling to wherever it turns up next. For me, that's a wee cancelled game from 2013, Back from the Dead. Funny how that works. Whew. God's sake, I'm on a real downer this weather, aren't I? Jesus, oh. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you really did, I would appreciate all the usual stuff, like, subscribe, comment if you agree with any of my takes, or disagree, please. I want to fight. It's great. But yeah, guys, have a good one. Peace.